and welcome to Knobcat Games Dungeons of the Obelisk podcast. I'm your host, Joe Sleppy. I'm Executive Prime at Knobcat Games, and this podcast is our audio devlog where we get together every 2 weeks and we talk about the progress of our game, Dungeons of the Obelisk, which is a 2D turn-based dungeon crawling loot grinding adventure. And I'm joined today by our digital alchemist, TJ Yedicernia.
Hello.
Hey TJ, it's just us today, and we don't have a lot on the list to talk about, but we do have kind of a big jump forward, I would say, in our server progress, because I was on the other day and me and my wife were both playing and we could see each other in town in the form of white boxes.
As much as it doesn't look like much, I'd say it's a lot of progress that was kind of done in these past few weeks, because originally you couldn't really see each other in town. It would create the person, but it would just be a duplicate of yourself again instead of an actual online player. So finally got it working where you can see another player in town in the form of a white cube, but last I checked on it, it shows like the name and they move around on their own, or when the other player moves them.
Yeah, it's like working good. Like, we could see each other. Like, I was like, I'm running around the bulletin board in town. Can you see me? And she was like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to finally have that feature figured out. It's such a tedious process because it's like you look things up. I'm looking at it. It's like, oh yeah, if you just do these simple steps, if you just add this thing, it just works. Add it on, it doesn't work. So going through the process of like, why doesn't it work?
That seems like the story of our life.
I feel like this whole network thing has kind of been like that this whole time, where it's like everything you look at, the initial documents of it will say, if you just add these few things, it'll just start working. But it never actually starts working.
Well, it's starting to start working.
It is starting to work, which is a very good sign.
Yeah, let me go to my friends list and look at somebody, because I know you were working on getting the friends list and view profile to actually show the cosmetics that the person is wearing. So like once you have that information and you can load them in like the view a player profile, then you should be able to make them load in town, right?
Yeah. And part of it was actually doing the profile that kind of led me to figure out how to get the players to actually appear in town. The only thing about the profile, and I guess this will fix itself over time on its own, is that any old player who used the wardrobe has to go back on and update it again for the whole profile to update itself. For
the new changes that you added. Yep. So that makes sense. That's why my character, because I have like 4 characters now, so my 4 accounts, I should say. So my main account that's like Paragon 177 is still showing the old, like not his cosmetics, and I guess that's because I haven't updated them recently.
Yeah, so anything that hasn't been changed, you gotta just kind of change it again and then it'll work. But any new player, it'll function just immediately.
I also noticed I have my own white box in town that follows me around.
Yep.
So I assume that'll be invisible eventually.
Yeah, I tossed on the white cube so I can just see, like, is this even appearing anywhere in the game?
Right.
But,
well, I noticed that the when I click on a menu, my white box will move to that like menu button, like independent of my character.
Oh yeah, yeah. Part of it is just
whenever I walk, it like catches back up.
the little white box that walks around with the name is currently like a separate object from what the standard player is. So it's kind of just a matter of making sure that no matter what, it can't escape where the player's location is. Because I know another thing is that like every time you spawn in, the white box should be spawning in next to the blacksmith.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're bound to the player that creates it, but not in a way that prevents them from, I guess, like running away or spawning in random locations.
It's pretty exciting though. I feel like it's like we haven't had a lot of big progress lately, and I feel like this is a big step, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, like
I'm just like walking around in town like this box followed me.
Yeah, because I think the last big thing was the server itself, but that's like one of those things where it's big, but you don't see it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a background thing. Like you just kind of moved everything to the server, and a couple things broke, and then they went back to working. At least from my perspective. For you, it was like a lot of work.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't as simple as that on my end, but that definitely does describe it well.
I guess we could talk about a few bugs that I saw recently. So one of the issues we were having was that a new account was still pulling information from your original account into the new character and causing like some issues. And it seems like you got most of those fixed, except the only thing is I can't use the shops. Like when I click to buy something, it just doesn't work on my new character. So I had let's just say I have 4 emails. Number 1 was my first email. It's like my main account and everything's working great on it. And then emails 2 and 3 I created before, and they both had problems, and you deleted them and then fixed the problems, and then I recreated those accounts with those 2 emails, and both of those are still having the same problems. So I got a 4th email that has never been used in the game, and everything works perfectly with that one now except the shops.
That's an interesting one. You know what I think it might be? And this might be an issue of just because of how PlayFab and Steam is created or set up. When you make a new account, it does create like a full new account inside PlayFab. And then from there, it wants to link itself to your Steam account. But I don't think you can have your Steam account linked to 2 different PlayFab accounts.
Oh, that might be a problem then.
Yeah, that might create issues, because, I mean, the idea of having multiple accounts is going to be tough if you have to change your Steam login every time you want to use the other accounts.
Yeah, that's like impossible. I don't even like know how to change my Steam login. Yeah, that's not good, because like the idea is we want people to be able to play cross-platform whenever we eventually get on another platform. And then we also want them to be able to have multiple accounts if that's something that they want to do. I mean, even just like if you forget your first account and just want to make a new one or something, or like, I guess this probably doesn't happen too often, but like if you wanted to log into your account on your friend's computer or something, just to like, you know, do your dailies or something like that. I don't know. I feel like there's some issues.
Yeah, I guess there's some things to consider on that, because part of the trouble is that the shop is directly linked to Steam. Because obviously you can't spend money if you can't pass it through Steam, the only way that we could set it up.
Right.
So, let's say you were on your friend's computer and then you log in onto your account using their Steam account. The trouble is that if you went to purchase something, it would try to use their Steam account to purchase it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I know people have multiple accounts like on Bit Heroes though, so I wonder how that works.
Yeah, because
I've never had a second account on Bit Heroes, but I know other people do.
Yeah, because at the same time, you would want, like, if you have, let's say, 4 different accounts, for example, and you kind of use them all 4, but on the same Steam account, you would still want access to purchases. You wouldn't want to get locked out on 3 of them and have one of them work.
Right, because that's how I am right now.
I would like to say there should be a way to kind of get it so that you can bounce between multiple accounts with one Steam account, but I think the issue of, like, let's say you logged onto your friend's thing, and then try to play your account.
Yeah, it would use their Steam. That would be that seems fine to me though. Like if you know you're on their computer using their Steam account, that's like a different situation, I think. But you should be able to have multiple DotO accounts using your one Steam account.
Yeah, there's got to be a way to do it. Like, even if it's it might be some awkward little method where every time you log onto a different account, it unlinks the previous account from Steam and then just relinks it.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of games on Steam that have independent logins, right?
Yeah.
Like separate, what am I trying to say? Like separate, like, accounts, you know, controlled, like, I don't know.
Yeah, like they're not exclusively linked to Steam itself.
Right. Because, like, they save, like, there's all kinds of games that save your progress, like, in their cloud, you know, their server.
Yeah, it's done so often that I feel like there's no way PlayFab would completely block that from being possible.
Yeah.
At the very least, some of the shop things should still technically work. Like, if you have crystals and you want to spend them, then that should still function.
Yeah, crystals and gold would still function fine. They seem to work. I guess I haven't tried them because I can't buy crystals.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't have any way to, other than earning them fairly, which I have 487 on this account. Let me see if I can afford anything. Oh, I can afford these glasses. Okay, it looked like they worked. Let's go to my inventory. Yeah, so you're right. Like, I can buy things with crystals and stuff. Those all work fine. But yeah, you can't buy anything with real money, which is a issue for us as a business.
Yeah, that is definitely something to look at. There's definitely those people that would want more than one account.
Yeah, like I always use the example, like for me, I only want one account. I have 4 because I'm own this game and I'm helping test it and stuff. But in a game like this, I just want one character. Like even in Diablo, like I never make like second characters unless like I come back from like not playing for a long time and just want to start clean or something. But like other people play these and like they'll have like a whole guild that's like themselves in their different accounts and stuff. Like people like love doing that. So I definitely want to like let people do that. If somebody wants to have 30 accounts and buy crystals on all 30 of them, then who am I to turn down their money?
I think I've done that once on a game where it's like I had my main account, but then I had a whole bunch of smaller accounts that I was able to feed into the main account because of generating resources.
That's hilarious. Yeah, like our game doesn't have any trading or anything, but when we add guilds and stuff like that, there will be ways to like help each other, like help your guild members, with resources and buffs and stuff. So, I can see people wanting to do it. And even until we add like the armory and stuff, like you might just want a second account just to have different builds.
Makes me think that there'll be like one guild where it's just one player like 10 times, but each character they have is a different variant of a build. Like you got a tank, you got a DPS, you got like a healer or something.
Yeah.
Just a full squad of themselves.
Yeah, I definitely think people will do that. It's not the way I play the game kind of games, but I see why it would make sense.
There would be that one person that has that kind of time and effort.
I mean, it's a fun game, so like why wouldn't they want to?
I think that's a maneuver that I could only do years ago, because the original time when I did it, it was so time consuming.
Yeah.
Like you really got to dedicate yourself to it.
Yeah, I don't have the time to play games like I used to, but I'm trying to think of what else. I think that's really all the new stuff that you've added was just the incredible task of getting players in town.
Yes, some of the other stuff isn't very, I guess, exciting. Like the mailbox works now, or the icon on it works.
Oh yeah, and like you don't get the same mail every time you log in. Once you collect it, it's gone. So that's kind of nice.
You can no longer cheat on that. I'm trying to think if there was anything else, like, I guess, exciting. There's officially been a character limit and a character minimum on player names.
Yeah, that's a good thing that I never thought of. Somebody just has a one-letter name.
Yeah, the username is actually not allowed to be 2 letters or less, which means my own name couldn't even be my username.
Yeah, I guess there's lots of names like that, because like got TJ, I would say somebody named Al or Ed, Mo.
Some of those names aren't as common anymore. Like I don't think I know anyone who's a Mo or Al.
No, at least not. I mean, those are always nicknames too, so.
It's always fun to see what kind of places you'll have issues with just because your name is too short.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to order a sub, and the next thing you know, it says, "Oh yeah, the name on the account has to be at least 3 letters." It's like I just want a sandwich.
What do you do in that situation? Just like add an extra letter to your name?
Yeah, I can, because T can also be like the word T, or J can be like Jay. I'll just extend either one.
Oh yeah.
I was told I should just use my middle name instead, but I think if I hear my middle name called out in public, I won't acknowledge it at all.
Yeah, if you don't go by that.
But if I just extend my first name, they'll still pronounce it the same. It'll just appear longer.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably what I would do. Like, that's really funny though. I always find that like interesting, like people's names and like the issues that they have. So like, you know, somebody says their name and you think of like a joke about it. Chances are they've heard that joke 1,000 times in their life and you're not coming up with anything original, you know?
Yeah, it's like a guarantee. If you think of it, they've heard it.
Yeah.
The common one for me is the obvious one of, is that actually your name? Every time.
Yeah, that does, you know, because at first I thought maybe that was like an abbreviation or like a, you know, some people have a nickname. Like, I go by Joe, but my name is Joseph. So, like, you know, I can see where Joe's not your real name, you know? So, like, it's kind of weird. My dad gets that all the time because his name is Ray, and it's not short for Raymond. It's just Ray.
I think my grandfather's name was Ray, but people would just call him Ray Ray, which is odd because...
is not shorter.
Yeah, you extend the name instead of shortening it.
My problem with my name is people always think I say Jeff, and I can't figure out why. The only thing I can think of is that, like, Joe is so short that they hear Jeff or something, or try to make it.
Just in their head, they think it should be longer.
Yeah, like, that's the only thing I can think of, but it happens all the time. And I'm like, I don't think I mumble my name, so I don't know.
I think one thing that got people with my name, at least when I was younger, is I used to always spell it capital letters, both. There wasn't any good reason why, but since I always capitalized both of them, people would assume that it has to be an abbreviation. Because, you know, the second letter is never capitalized unless it is abbreviated.
Yeah.
Stop doing that now, for the most part. See, the next thing to wait on is somebody who's going to have a overly long name, because the limit is 26 or more letters.
That should cover most people. I would say if they run into the character limit on their character name, they've experienced that before they got to our game.
Yeah, they should be used to it by now.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the list of things that we actually have left to do. You know, like obviously you got to get players in town showing visually correct. Does your server object still disappear when you go into a dungeon and come back to town?
I'm pretty sure it does. So I wanted to look into some ways to kind of manage that. I was thinking some method where it's like almost turns them off, and then once they arrive back in town, it turns them back on and lets them walk around again.
Oh yeah, because my box disappeared. I went to a dungeon and then came back and it's gone. So we also have our chat system that we want to get in there, and like the world chat and the like item drop notifications, like so and so found legendary item.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how some of that goes.
I think that's really the main stuff.
Yeah, the chat system itself is probably the largest thing that isn't in the game yet.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll be interesting. It should be a case of like once one of the chat channels is created, all the other parts of it should work just fine. Like talking to a specific player or getting the legendary items to go through the chat.
Yeah, we could talk about this more later, but maybe we want to forgo that. You know, that's something we should maybe think about. Maybe we'll not have a chat. It's kind of weird that you can have a friends list, but no chat. But yeah, I think we kind of need it, huh?
I think the idea of it makes sense. I guess it might become a case of like, how hard is it to get the chat?
Yeah, because we do, you know, like... you know, I try to talk about everything on this podcast and let people know what's going on and stuff, but we are getting low on money. So unless you want to work for free, we kind of need to get some things wrapped up and get this game out so that we can start making some money from player support. So that is a potential issue, you know, so we definitely need to like prioritize or triage what we're working on to make sure we do get the game out.
I'm thinking about it. There might actually be some short-handed workarounds to a chat system. Because all it is just like a little cube that has text on it from any player that might send something into it. Which isn't that far off from how the name above the character's head works. The only thing about it is that this is just like a text system that everyone can type into instead of it just creating it on its own. It might not be that hard to create based off that idea.
Yeah, that's interesting. Isn't there like a PlayFab chat system that's like already supposed to be built in?
I thought there was.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I'd have to take a look again, see if I can find it, but I feel like I saw something about like a chat system.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that because I'm pretty sure there was. Hopefully, maybe it'll be easy. Nothing else was, but maybe that will be.
That would be nice.
We still don't have friend requests working. You know, like right now, you just add a player to your friends list, and they're just there.
Yeah.
So they don't have to like approve or anything. So that's one other thing that needs to get in there.
Yeah, because currently it's a one-sided friend system where you can add whoever you want, and they don't have a say in the matter.
Right, which won't work good because like the way the chat's gonna work is you can chat with anybody on your friends list.
Yeah, add random people and chat with them.
So you need to be able to and unfriend them as well, so that way if somebody's saying stuff you don't want to hear, you can just unfriend them and they're off your friends list, and then problem solved. You don't have to have like a block feature or anything, because it's built into the way the friends list works.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying that PlayFab themselves, they set it up to be one-sided. I don't know why they would ever do that in the first place, because I can't think of any reason why it should be a one-sided system.
Yeah, I can't think of any game that has a one-sided friends list.
But that's what they went with. I think being complicated is part of PlayFab's whole deal.
I feel like PlayFab still is probably easier than like using like the Amazon or Google servers and stuff, because we looked into all that before we started, and those seemed even worse.
Yeah, the more I kind of get into some of the networking stuff, the more I get the fact that it's like, this is not easy. This is an incredibly hard thing to do, and I can see that PlayFab might be one of the easier ones, but at the same time, it's also incredibly annoying.
Yeah, definitely. I do feel like you've made a lot of progress for someone that has never done it before. I think you're definitely doing a good job.
Just one step forward every day with this kind of stuff. But it definitely is moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. And we filled the podcast time, so I think we'll wrap this thing up and get out of here. For the listener, thank you so much for listening to the end of this podcast. If you've made it this far, we really appreciate your interest in our game, and you should check out our website, which is knobcat.com, and we also have a Discord server where you can get in and talk to us and ask us questions and see the links to videos and things and progress that we're making. It's been a little slow in there lately, but if we got some more people in there asking questions or chatting, that would definitely be a good thing. We also have our social media, which is Twitter and Instagram, both at Dungeons Obelisk. And you can also catch me playtesting on Twitch sometimes. There's no schedule for it or anything, so you just have to follow and look for the notifications, but that's twitch.tv/StarRambler. And I think that's everything. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
See ya.